we're live. Unfortunately, Martin Luther King passed away a few hours ago. Um, I caught it about, I guess, an hour after he had. He's out in California, and it looks like he had colon cancer. And so I took the time to look into what that is, and because these days everybody seems to get cancer. Like I'm destined to have cancer, unfortunately, because I'm human. I can't see people like him, aunties or uncles and or friends, dads and mom get it and not think I wouldn't be getting it one day. So from what I see with colon cancer, it's hard to detect, and they tell men to go get it checked out after a certain age. As you're getting up in age, go get it checked out. I think it's called a colon obsity, something like that. Collapse. My accent's terrible. Sorry. Let me show you guys this sunset, and I'll keep talking too. All right, one second. Look at that sunset. So yeah, so I think it's called a colonoscopy. Colonoscopy. So yeah. So with colon cancer, you could have it for years and not know. It's painless. Apparently, where it forms doesn't necessarily rub up on anything, so there's nothing really to irritate it. And symptoms are rare. Basically, once you start getting symptoms, you've had it for a long time. Some of the ways to know that you may have colon cancer. Some of the ways you know that you have colon cancer is ejaculation. If it's thinning, it's you don't have there's not a large quantity of it or a normal quantity, and you notice like over time that you're not as regular as you would imagine. Whoa, let me show you guys this again. Look at that. That's so pretty. So yeah, if you're not as regular as you would imagine, um, in quantity and whatnot, that's a good indicator. Pain when peeing, you know, so like irritation to pain, straight up pain. Um, Waking up in the middle of the night to urinate. So somebody, just if the the sex organ that God's given you and you've been using all your life starts acting differently, behaving differently, get it checked out. Check this out again. I'm sorry, guys. I love stuff like this. You see how pretty that is? Look at that. That looks like something out of a movie, right? Hey, look at that. That's one thing I love about up here. Just it's beautiful, especially during this time. Look at that, you know. So I guess in a way it's kind of fitting because a legend just passed away. Like this is this is a very significant day. Martin Luther King's own son, passing. Very, very significant. It's very sad, and um, I think as men, we don't really take the initiative to check on our health. Here's another temple. I think this may be a Jewish temple right here. It's very beautiful. You see it? It's very beautiful. So yeah, as men, I don't think we take the time to really, get regular checkups. Women go. Women go. When it's time to go to the doctor, they're on their way. They've got their bag packed up. They're on first name basis with their doctor. They ask their doctor about whatnot. But men is like, I don't know if we think we're, like indestructible or whatever the case is, but we really don't go to the doctor, and that's something that we really need to change. Even when you have a nice job and you've got the 401k and the HSA, we don't go. What is it? Is it culturally like for black people? You know, like you get hurt, go lay on the couch. Is that what it is? You know. Um, so this is definitely a moment to just reflect, because his dad just had, we just celebrated his father's birthday, and now he's gone. So it's, just seeing it gave me goosebumps, and yeah, it's very sad. It's very, very sad. Uh, and this is also a moment to, as a reminder, stay on top of your health. Go to the gym, eat right, get enough sleep, drink enough water. I'm actually, I just got back onto my gallon of water challenge, so I only have this much left to finish. I would have finished it by now, but I've got a, a good stretch home. As you see, all the traffic, right? So I don't want to be pressed to find a restroom at this moment. Yeah. So it's very, very, very unfortunate and very sad. That's really all I wanted to say. We could spin this live off into a second piece. Um, Now, if it's going to be productive and effective, like talking about real estate or money or something of that nature, that's one thing. Um, so one thing I definitely have been thinking about doing for a long time is making videos showing how it is out here for dating, from my regard, because I've wanted to do this for a while now. So I've been saving like receipts, like text messages, not like, oh, she's terrible or whatever, just to like give an example. And I've been debating like, how do I go about this? Do I want to do a name drop? Especially like, obviously if they're random. If they're not random, I'm not doing a name drop. Um, like, so if, for example, let's say I saw him on Facebook or something, now then I might do a name drop, might, something like that. If it's like an online person, but if it's like real life person, I won't. So yeah, so over like at least 2 years, I've like there's good moments where it's just like, wow, these text messages are crazy. And I've been talking about it for a while now. Like when you see these text messages, you're gonna say like you're not gonna believe this is a real person. Like there have been moments where it's like I'm like literally chilling, like trying to have a conversation with a lady, and then I don't know where she just starts yelling at me through the text messages, unprovoked, truly unprovoked, and it makes you like look at yourself like, huh? Am I speaking English? Like, and the entitlement is crazy. For example, yesterday I just showed like some of my friends. Yesterday, this girl and I we were having a conversation, and then shoot, do I want to go that way? Bethesda Rockville. Bethesda Rockville. No, no, I don't. I'm gonna go this way. Yeah, I try to avoid tolls all I can. I hate tolls. But yeah. So, anyways, this girl, we're chatting it up. So I've been talking to two new ladies, and this girl we're chatting up. We were thinking about. I said, you want to get some tacos? She says, sure. And she wants to go to something called Taco Rock. Taco Rock. I told her, do you want to get street tacos? Something inexpensive and like delicious. She says Taco Rock. So I googled Taco Rock. I need to actually look at it again when I get home and see if this is a 5-star restaurant for tacos. It's like, dang, I said let's get like a taco or two. I didn't say let's sit down and eat enough tacos for 2026. You know, like crazy. But so yeah, Taco Rock is weird. But hey, I looked it up. I said, why not? So sure. Mind you, what was it that I first asked her to? I asked her if she wanted to get boba. Boba is like, like boba tea, just like tea or slushy or something together. And she said, I forget the excuse she used. I forget the excuse she used. I don't remember one excuse, But after the taco place fell through because it was already like maybe 9 p.m. Um, she said, "Oh, da, da, da." I said, "Oh, well, it's probably gonna close by the time I get there because it's almost 10, right?" She said, "Yes." I'm like, "Hey, you want to get ice cream?" Because I was actually hoping to get ice cream before 10, like around 9:30 ish. She said, "Oh, I've been drinking. The ice cream will mix with the drinks." So I said to her, "Oh, wow, really?" I said, "Well, then, do you want me to just Uber you to my place? Because she's already drunk. What's the point in going out and drinking? You know?" I told her I can like just make her something quick to eat. And plus, excuse me, the main thing is everywhere's closed. You know. So if you feel like you've already drunk, imagine. So there's no point in us going and drinking more. You've already had drinks. You know. Yeah. So really, what it is she's trying to have me come out of pocket for something. And so she goes, "Oh, I'm not coming to your place on the first time meeting." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then so the conversation goes on literally for two more sentences. She says, she says, so I think I asked her like, "Where do you want to go?" or something like that. Maybe she just says it, but she says, "Let's go to Hell's Kitchen." When I show you these text messages, I erupted in laughter. Like I was laughing for 5 minutes straight. Like my phone fell on the bed and everything. I was dying. And what's hilarious on top of that was I had no intention to actually go out. I had no intention. It's already late. The next day's work. I want to go out and get simple ice cream. I don't want to drive across town to take a girl out for a $500 dinner date. So definitely not. You know, even the Taco Rock was going to be hard pressed because I'm not going to take you out for no $100. Taco Rock was going to be like $100. You know, like no, you don't. You're not entitled to my money like that. Not at all. I don't. Who are you? Do I know you? So yeah, guys, if y'all are doing this, just spending money like this on women, stop. Because I've got a couple of friends doing this. And it's like nothing I say goes through their head. So stop it. You're wrong. Don't stop doing that. You, you work so hard for your money, then you turn around, you take your money, you give it to a stranger. If that's the case, just walk down the street, find a homeless person, and give them $200. You know. So, anyways, so I literally sent her like 35 laughing emojis. I even took the time to count the number of laughing emojis. Like the ha ha ha. I literally counted the number of them. Um, and I even typed out ha 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 ha. So at the end of the day, she wrote TF you laughing at or something like that. Just to show her true nature. And I have not replied. I'm just gonna let her sit there. It doesn't matter. I'm sure she's got a dozen other dudes ready to spend money on her. At least the audacity. At least be attractive. Um, at least be Selena Gomez or something. Like, and even she's falling off. So it's crazy. Um, it's very crazy because you would think that stuff like this started like this is it's the Beyonce, it's the Cardi B, it's the City Girls, it's the all the break the windows out your car or it's no this has been going on for decades. This is just the interaction between man and woman outside of religion, outside of strict Christianity and Islam. This is the interaction between man and woman. There's really nothing else to it. Like this is normal. Now I say that because when you listen to um, people like what's his name? Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra has a song where he says something like he's talking about he's basically he has a lady be a nice lady to me tonight or something like that, and he's like don't be a nice lady some I can't sing the song to save my life now. But I love this song. And then he was so basically he's saying like he's talking about blowing on his dice, be a nice lady. It's not nice to come here and end up with somebody else. And I was trying to like say, hey, this is like crazy right here. And people didn't believe me till he said the blow on my dice. Everybody lost their mind because I was like, you see what I mean? He's literally talking about taking the girl on a date somewhere, maybe like a party event, like Christmas event or whatnot, maybe a work event. And then he's saying that everybody knows who she is. So she's an escort. And so she escorts people. And then he's saying that um, if you come with me to this date or this dance, whatever the situation is, this occasion, don't leave me and be with somebody else. So a lot of the things that people so-called complain about, like this, the gender wars and all that, that's been going on for years. That's not that's normal. What's abnormal about the situation is the low marriage rates. Is after you would think succeeded in the civil rights movements and whatnot, we would be a lot further ahead. Those are the kind of things that um, those in consequence is what makes this era a little bit interesting. Like it's like wow, huh. We fought for board versus education. We fought to be able to work and not be, risk our life and all this. And now it's like, oh, but we can't even form families. But back in the day, when we weren't allowed to go to certain neighborhoods and eat certain restaurants, we could have those families. We were fine. We had our families. We might not be able to ride the bus, but we had our own bus system. Yeah, we weren't able to eat at their restaurant, but we had our own restaurant. Now we don't have our own buses. We don't have our own restaurant. You can count how many times your dollar stays in your neighborhood, and you don't have a family. If you get married to a woman right now, the likelihood of you being divorced in the next 3 to 4 years is extremely high. That is if you get past this girl I just told you who wanted me to take her to Hell's Kitchen, right? Hell's Kitchen. She didn't say, I'm loving it, McDonald's. She said Hell's Kitchen, like Gordon Ramsay, Hell's Kitchen, like the one on TV. For you guys not knowing what that is a 6-star restaurant. That's a 6-star restaurant. That's not even five. That's a 6-star restaurant. So that's why this is very interesting. So again, salute to Martin Luther King's son, Dexter. Um, I actually need to take the time and read and understand his contribution in his life. See if he followed his father's footsteps, or just know who he is, because I never did. This is the first time I've actually really taken the time to see what he looks like, and just read a little bit about him. Um, yeah, and it's definitely a moment of silence. It's very sad. You know, I in the previous live I've talked about how in the previous lives I've talked about how the lady who just tried to burn down Martin Luther King's Dexter's childhood home. Who were they? Dexter's? No, I think he was raised in a different house. So this is Martin Luther King's childhood home. Dexter was raised in a different home. And I talked about how that home is gone sold, and and Martin Luther King's childhood home is sold. And then like this black lady actually tried to burn it down. And I talked about how they sold it for maybe like 400K or something, and it's been sold twice after. The first sale 400 or something K like that to a like like it basically came. It looked like a like had like an environmentalist name or something, like something like Rehab America or something like that. And they sold it to the federal government um, for a whopping like, do I want to say 10 mil? Either 1 point something mil or 10 mil. I can't remember at the moment, but they sold it for millions of dollars, millions. I'm pretty sure it's multi-million. And this home is not fenced in or anything like that, and it's just like this is where we are now. The lady who tried to burn, that's not a triple K member. That's not a Triple K member. That's not even a person of the other race. And this lady, she's like 28 or 26. I think she's either my age. I'm 2 years older than her, but she's not. She's not in her 30s. She's in her mid to late 20s. So this is, she's even in the military. So like when you talk about, oh, Buka, oh, like send me a picture so I can make sure she's black or whatever that, you know, older black men have tried to say, the last generation to me now. It's like, dude, so send you a picture. Okay, let me send you a picture. You see this lady? You see how she's trying to burn down this house? Like, you see the lady I just talked about? The lady I talked about yesterday, this is a black lady who wanted me to take her to Hell's Kitchen. You know? Here, come on, dude. Come on over, man. I know you got your license from Walmart. Come on over. It's okay. Come on over. People like you want to get into the lane, but you don't want to be aggressive. Then stay where you were. The lane he left is going just as fast as our lane, you know. But whatever. I When there's a chance for me to let a car in, I like to let them in because I know I'm controlling that situation. I give them space to get in, you know, and you know, and I'm like conscious of it. Like I make sure there's nobody pulling up behind me as I'm braking, you know. And I let them in, you know. Hey, I rather that than they miss their exit or try to do something risky to try to get into the lane. Then I get sideswiped. Anyways, so the lady, like yesterday I was telling you about, this is a black lady, you know. And just in general, like all black men, all, you know, people love saying not all black men. It's rare. It's very rare for me to meet a black man who cannot relate to this feeling of being treated like a boy, called the N word, or just in general talked to very aggressively. Um, I heard a quote the other day of another man describing his experience. He said that he feels um, tolerated, tolerated, not appreciated, not loved, not respected, tolerated. You know what toleration means? Toleration means I can't stand you, and if you just do one more thing, or if there any reason come up, that I'm gonna get you out of here. Out of here could be into prison, could be out of the house, could be out of this world. That's what tolerated means. Toleration is toleration is you are lucky because if I had my way or any other way, you wouldn't be here. There is no joy or benefit coming from you being around here or in this, you know, situation. Even if, let's say, you're paying money or something of that nature, or you're giving some sort of like goods or skill or labor, you're still being tolerated. And I could truly go with or without that goods or money that you're paying me. I could really go without it. That's what tolerated means. And frankly, I can relate. I have four sisters. I only really feel comfortable and wanted around one of them. The other three, I definitely feel tolerated. If that, I really feel resented. I don't feel. I wouldn't even say tolerated. I feel resented. I don't feel tolerated. I feel resented. And where is that resentment coming from? Like, what is it that I've done that's so terrible that you would resent me or not like me? You know. And for years, I kind of like just ate it up and let it go. You know, I would comment, tell my parents, hey, XYZ is going on. Now I don't care anymore. And I'm not just cutting off siblings, I'm cutting off cousins, friends. Like, yeah, after I went through my major heartbreak for me, because that was real for me, um, I took a step back and I reflected on everybody coming in and out of my life and their perception of me, and I said, no, this perception is wrong. I'm a good man. I'm a good brother. You know, whatever it is that people are learning in college or whatever, it has nothing to do with me. I'm very hardworking. I'm sincere. I'm honest. You know, I'm a nice guy. If I upset you, it may have been accidental. Um, and that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of our ladies are going to college, and when they come out of it, they hate men. They quote all these terrible statistics that are not true, and so it's like, wow, Ruby Bridges did all this so that there can be division in our family. When in reality, black women have always worked. Rosa Parks, like I said in other lives, the reason why she was tired and upset and didn't want to go to the back of the bus because she was coming from work. That was over 70 years ago now, right? Um, and a part of the civil rights movement were all of these so-called abortions and just malpractices at in the hospitals. You could go in for surgery for your foot or whatever as a woman and come back and not even know that your tubes are tied. You know, so a part of the civil rights movement were those efforts to have equal and fair medical attention, affordable medical attention. You know, um, so black men have always been here for our women and for our families, and there is no more excuses. I'm not giving no more excuses. I used to justify some comments with like, oh, maybe it's because the drug era, maybe it's because the gangs are going to jail, but no, actually, even then we still had a good and a high marriage rate. We had good communities, and we're fine. In the hot centers like cities and whatnot, you could have issues, right? That's what happens in cities. There's just so many people, and next thing you know, you might be unemployed, or like a moment in time, like like COVID, or like the 2008 era, right, where people become homeless overnight. Um, anyways, so yeah, I now I've distanced myself from people, and I've recrafted my own image of myself because I'm a good man, I'm a good person, I'm good-hearted. There's nothing bad about me. I, I can be late, I can be an hour late, but I'm still a good human being. Like I'm hardworking, I'm sincere, like I try. And when I do people wrong, because that's natural of everybody, I try to amend things and fix things. Now, whether or not you want to hold a grudge with on me for the rest of your life, that is a fair decision. That is your decision to make. But that doesn't mean I'm a terrible brother, terrible friend, terrible boyfriend. I've never been a husband yet. I've never been a father, you know. But at the end of the day, um, I'm not terrible. I can be terrible, but I'm not terrible. So to have this feeling and impression from my siblings that I'm just a terrible brother and whatnot, yeah, that was not gonna work. So I've crafted all of that and moved people away. Like I haven't even moved anybody away. I just personally stopped caring. I'm not gonna reach out anymore. I'm not gonna like sit up in the middle of the night thinking about, oh, what's the problem, And yeah, I'm not gonna do that anymore. And you know, that's the thing about this whole live too. Martin Luther King's son, right? He didn't necessarily have a natural death. Martin Luther King didn't have a natural death. Guess who else? Martin Luther King's father, or should I even say father? It actually would be his Coretta Scott King's parents. Didn't have natural deaths. I'm not sure 100% about Martin Luther King's father. What I do know is that, like I've addressed in a previous live, is that during the whole like the lady trying to burn down the house, is that um the home that Martin Luther King grew up in, the history of that is his wife's parents purchased that home with 3,200, and then no, I just want to make sure I have all this right. So no, so yeah, I want to make sure I have all this right. So basically, his grandmother's mom or like family. So Martin Luther King's grandmother's parent purchased that home for 3,200. They only had one child, which was Martin Luther King's grandmother, and then Martin Luther King's grandmother courted or was courted by Martin Luther King's grandfather. Father. Did I say that correct? So Martin Luther King's mother's parent bought the home. Then Martin Luther King's mom was courted by his father, who was a pastor, for 8 years. And he actually moved into Martin Luther King's mother's home, and they made it a home. You see? Yeah, I think I got it right now. I think I got it right this way. So then Martin Luther King later on meets Coretta Scott King, right? And I'm pretty sure Martin Luther King's mom and dad both passed away from a heart attack. I think that's how that worked. So that home has saw so many generations of kings, right? Like, because this is early 1930, 1920, and now we're in 2024. You know, sir, I see you see my car here. I hope you don't merge into me. So, so they had heart attacks, unfortunately, from all the stress, right? 3,200 is a lot of money. So imagine two black people, 3,200, a home. Like, to buy a house is historically always been difficult. That's why they had to pass the Affordable Home Act. And then later on, you see the crash that happened. So buying a home is incredible to do. It's always been. So imagine to have $3,200 in the early 1900s being black. So yeah, his parents unfortunately passed away from a heart attack. Then you know what happened to Martin Luther King, you know. And I think even his wife, um, had an assassination attempt on her life, and I think one of it was successful. Can't recall now. And then now Martin Luther King's son, passed away from colon cancer, which is not natural. It's nothing like, you know, passing away in your sleep. You know. So yeah, it's very unfortunate. It's very bad. Um, are you okay? Like, you just want to just merge into my lane? You really don't want to make it home today, right? This man, this truck is just doing whatever he wants to do, and he has a busted tail light, behaving like that. No turning signal. Tragic. So, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live. I've talked about everything I really wanted to talk about, and then some. Um, I appreciate everybody's time. I saw like people pop in and out, and I appreciate you guys for even clicking the live and popping in and out. I'm going to keep working on this channel. I'm gonna start dropping videos now. I've got tons of videos already pre-made. It's just that I never sat down and took the time to start dropping them. Um, I'm still setting up my office room, and I'm setting up. The goal this year is to work 100% from home as an engineer. So I'll have more time to do, pursue this hobby. It's really a hobby. Um, get paid or not, it's whatever. I enjoy doing this, you know. And I just do the lives in my car for now to help just push out some content there, keep everybody, in the loop and relevant. I've seen some other channels where they just kind of talk in circles. They don't get any meat. you don't get any meat. You know, like you might get a T-bone with just a little scrap, and they make you sit there for over an hour and 15 minutes. Is basically background music. That's not this channel. Whatever we talk about, I'm gonna really give you examples, stories, details, and we're gonna keep it moving. Like you're gonna come out of this with something. As you see, my cadence and conversation is pretty steady. When we run out of something to talk about, I'll talk to you guys later. When we get to a, like, let's say I'm going somewhere and that's it, I'll talk to y'all later. But as you see, like, I'm not sitting here like saying, so what's going on in the market? Wow, guys, I'm telling you, it's getting bubbly. And they keep saying that, and then finally go, oh yeah, by the way, somebody died, and then they go back to, yes, and in the future report of America. No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that here. We're not gonna do that here. That's not appropriate. We're not gonna do that here. Anyways, I appreciate everybody for stopping in. Hopefully the car noise isn't loud, but at this point, if you popped in, just expect to hear a V8 in the camera. You're just gonna hear. You're just gonna hear that. Just expect it. You know. When I get home here, I'm probably gonna drop a video, and I got a couple of things to do. I actually got a job offer today, but it's out in Florida. Frankly, I'm not against it. I like it. It's just that I don't want to uproot my life here. I do enjoy being in the DMV, and there's a lot of potential to be. What it's like 3 hours. It's 3.5 hours from Miami. Like an what's Tampa is on the other side. Up top is like Jacksonville and stuff like that. So it's actually a really good location. Apparently, there are a lot of good opportunities for engineering. So it's hey, Florida, and I actually always thought I would end up in Florida. So now it's really amazing that I'm getting this opportunity, and I'm basically turning it down. I'm like, I'm okay because I really do enjoy being up here in DMV. I like it hot. It gets really hot up here, and it just snowed. It just like snowed for like a week, and it was beautiful. It's cool. It's different. It's cold, but it's different. So it's just different, and I enjoy it. I enjoyed it. Everything's fast paced. The lady said it's a lot slower. Yeah, so I'd basically be back in Alabama. I'd be in some sort of Alabama community, except there'd be some water, you know, which is cool. But I have a lot of buddies here, so I wouldn't have any friends. And it's fine. I can always make friends, right? Obviously there'll be some pretty ladies out there too, but yeah, believe it or not, it's just like I'm 28. Uh, Moving like that is not wise, because I have to build a nest so a lady can find me somehow. Um, Maybe I can do that like in my 40s or something, right? But right now, no, because it took me about 5 years to really sink in here, right? And so now I'm sunk in here, like when I say sunk, I don't mean like stuck. I mean like I've finally built a foundation. So I don't want to just uproot and move right now. Um, I'm stable, and I could do it. So like, let's say 2 to 3 years from now, if she wanted to employ me again or whatever, I'd take it because I would have paid off my house. I can just put the properties I do have under a rental agent and then be across the country. That's fine. I don't mind doing that. I don't know how well it'll work, but I don't mind doing that. And I really like to be hands on with my own things. But I can see that, you know. And I do want to buy a house on the water, you know. And what's the best place to buy it than in the middle of Miami and Tampa, and that's like where's the, like, that is the place to do it, you know. And cost of living is cheaper down there. She said cost of living is at least 13% cheaper. So then I bring my assets down there. I get a nice beachfront house, you know. I'm looking good. I'm looking good. So maybe I'll do in 10, 15 years. That is if I don't choose to move out the country, you know? and just explore the world. Anyways, again, um, it's very sad. But I just wanted to say a couple of pointers about the whole situation. And over the couple of weeks, I'm not even gonna say a couple of weeks. I'd say like the next 3 days, when I get some time, I'm gonna like do a dive into his life. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a video about me talking about the life of Martin Luther King's son, Dexter. So, anyways, thank you for tuning in, the guys who tuned in. I appreciate your time, and then have a good evening.